great.
Oh, thanks.
So after Geoffrey Gatza gave me his most recent book of poems, which is this one, right? I gave him a book by Richard Brautigan, which I've been collecting Brautigan's books for years when I lived in San Francisco. And it's a little known fact, I mean, Trout Fishing in America, which is probably his most famous book, is dedicated to Jack Spicer. He was sort of a student of Jack Spicer. His book sort of came out under his tutelage. And the reason I was reminded of this when I read Geoffrey's book is that, well, I mean, here's a poem. Curiously young like a freshly dug grave, the day parades in circles like a top with rain falling in its shadows. Right beside the morning coffee. If I write this down now, I will have it in the morning. The question is, do I want to start the day off with this? So Geoffrey's poetry just, made me think of this. It's a lot of word games. It's a lot of jokes that are funny for a minute and then they sort of stab you in the heart about 5 seconds later. I mean, it's that kind of thing, and it's been a real pleasure to get to know over the past couple of years. We took a wild trip to this hat guy. What's the name of this place?
Custom Hatters. Gary White's his name.
Custom Hatters, and I got him to reblock this hat for me, which I had for years, and now it doesn't fit. But I'm going to go Geoffrey's working on an amazing hat for Geoffrey right now, and he's working on, which he's delayed on, because he's working on the hats for Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah. Should be together.
He's like the only guy in the whole country who can make these hats now, I guess. So that's why he's so busy. But and Geoffrey's publishing venture, as I mentioned before, is totally different than Robbie's, but it's where Robbie's is about materiality and intimacy. Geoffrey is about generosity and excess, and he's just an amazing explosion of books that have been coming out from Blazebox over the past 10 years, and so he's really doing a great service for poetry. So I'm happy to have him be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. The hat is a 10-year gift to myself for the 10 years of Blazebox, and it's a real treat. It was a lot of fun to go with him to the hat place. I'm going to read a couple of poems from a new book, Secrets of My Prison House. I've got a couple of copies, so if you don't have them, let me know and I'll make sure you read them. And also a couple of new poems that I've been working on that I think would be a lot of fun. Tempest Fidget. Poetry expects poets to do their duty. Ex nihilo, nihilo fit. The leaves are attacking. We get terribly excited. Butter grows in blocks on butter branches. 99 out of 100 times we get let down, concentrating extraordinarily hard on a miniature desk. It was £100 human drawing, a series of washes in buried gray, a young constable on a bridge with rope. There is only the color of paper beneath our words. Right to the skies, The clouds adequately describe water, the intense way artists tend to render fat back. It's most interesting and translates into money. A generation later, our investments are not good. My granddaughter is sick and tired of losing her antique writings to something like this. Now is the time, a rainbow sheen to move your trust. All that is lacking is audacity and opportunity, wealth to be poured into a very plain silver cup. This is for Lindsay Lohan, who's, everyone knows she's back in jail.
God bless.
Awesome. The Sandra Bullock story that stunned us all. At the height of all this, the fears turn to joy. Maybe in another lifetime, we can have beads on our birthday. I may be old, but I am not dead. I am staying alive in the golden crayon of choice. As simple as designing new waste, I hear babies cry. You can safely say, the crowd goes wild. Get your tickets today. And I'm going to read a couple poems from a new manuscript called Psychopomp. Götterdämmerung, which is German for Twilight of the Gods. When does the poem actually begin? She asked politely. After everyone else has left the theater, the lights turn out. Only the purists and the rats remain, hunting alone in the dark. To cut a long, bleak story a little shorter, by the middle of the decade, he was in what one might call a very bad place. The man who confesses is not necessarily Spartacus. Oozing pus and froth, the salt pods blister. Mystery pools swell with garbage juice. I fear I will forever live a life of solitude. Yesterday. The artist lay in a welter of gore on the floor of the summer house at his London home, his coat and waistcoat burning from the ferocity of the shotgun blast which had killed him. The smell reminded me of rotten cantaloupe, the taste of failure. I've been accused of being the only friend who assigns homework. I'm going to get blood on my cute sweater. My fondness for him is the same as any would have for the vampire that bit them. Sparkling, hateful desire. It's a shame I cannot capture this moment. My camera's batteries ran down yesterday when I was photographing that homeless guy sleeping on the marble steps of the museum. Even cats distrust him. Our leaders live in another country. Disgraceful sons of bankers, miserable, heathen, devil-treated.